welcome. Welcome back to King Edward Hall, which we haven't been in for a few months. It's been renovated. We have a new sound system, so I hope you can all hear me clearly. We have a new AV system, so the quality of video coming out of here will be very good. There's more to come. There will be a digital wall appearing before the end of the year, which will allow us to connect up globally. It's going to be like Newsnight here. We actually, very interestingly, have a live Twitter feed, which the panel can see for the first time ever. No idea how that's going to play out at all. But all this has been done by Bank of America Merrill Lynch. We are very grateful that they host us. We're also grateful that you're investing in this space. So thank you very much. Thank you also to GE Lighting, who joined this month for a year's sponsorship of the crowd. GE have been one of the pioneers of a low-carbon economy, and we're very proud to have GE in our team. I'd like to start tonight, before the main show, with just by sharing something with you, because I think tonight is the 73rd time that this crowd has gathered on a Monday evening to discuss the big challenges of our time. And we know, anecdotally, that you learn a lot from each other. You learn from the panel. You make connections that have value going beyond this room. But I think if we are to be really gathering these concentrations of thinking on a regular basis, we have to ask ourselves, what change are we creating? And it's incredibly difficult to measure this. But we had something happened last week, which I think hints at the power of the crowd. So I just wanted to share it with you. How many of you are aware that Sainsburys have taken Tesco's to the High Court recently over product comparisons? Okay, so we've got a small, probably 5 or 10%. And let me tell you the story behind it, because that story began in many ways on this very stage in October 2013, when we organised for Sainsburys to be peer-reviewed by 200 of their peers, including their direct competitors. So it was quite brave. They reviewed their 20 by 20 sustainability plan. Now that crowd said, your biggest gap is the way you're engaging your customers on the issue of sustainability. And Sainsburys went away and they did a number of things, but one of the things they did was they commissioned market research to find out how much their customers cared about sustainability. And they found about 70% of them thought it was very important as an issue to them. So when Tesco last year ran a series of adverts comparing popular products at Sainsburys with the similar products at Tesco's, showing that Tesco products were cheaper than Sainsburys, Sainsburys complained to the Advertising Standards Authority. They said, you're not comparing like for like. You're comparing fair trade tea with non-fair trade tea, sustainably sourced salmon with non-sustainably sourced salmon. And the Advertising Standards Authority said, yes, we recognize there is a difference, but we still think that these products are comparable. And Sainsburys then took a rare step. They sought a judicial review of the decision. And it was led by Mike Coop, who's the incoming CEO of Sainsburys. And in December, Alex Cole, who's the External Affairs Director, wrote in a blog about how they're engaging with their customers. In many ways, it's thanks to the wisdom of the crowd that we decided this is a battle we should take up on behalf of our customers and our suppliers. And last week, the High Court granted a judicial review of that decision. And it will be held or heard in the autumn of this year. And if it's overturned, which is quite possible given that it's going through this review process, it'll have, I think, major ramifications for retailers, because it's going to impact how they message ethical and environmental decisions. So it may empower the consumer to make better decisions. It may help to trigger sustainable demand patterns. Now, I think Sainsburys has done a terrific job over this, but it's also clear that the crowd has played a significant role in that. So thank you and well done, particularly to our October 2013 crowd. I don't know if there are any of you here or not, but it's an exciting story. Staying on the theme of creating change, I now want to introduce our host for this evening, Robert Phillips. Robert got to the heights of the PR industry when he was the CEO of Edelman Europe. And when he was there, he decided that the way PR was done was all wrong. I suspect you're going to get a view of what he thinks is right tonight. But I think what I really admire about Robert is he gave up his job. He created Jericho Chambers. He's crowdfunding a book that he's writing at the moment called Trust Me, PR is Dead. He's getting on with it and he's changing things, and I really admire that about Robert. I've put the link, if you want to help him crowdfund his book, the link is on the Twitter feed, and I know he would be extremely grateful. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, can I ask you to put your hands together for Robert Phillips?